Happy birthday! There's another bag.
Happy birthday, Naomi!
Happy birthday to ya! Happy birthday!
It's actually a really special day because it's my sister-in-law Naomi's birthday.
Happy birthday, Naomi.
Happy birthday!
Lola says happy birthday.
I just turned 25, and it's only beginning to dawn on me that I am no longer an adolescent. I know the minute I became 20, I officially stopped being a teenager. But there's something different about 25. I never quite imagined how it would feel to be here. And you know what they say? The unexamined life is not worth living. So here are a few things I'd like to share with you about all the lessons I've learned and the best things I've done over the last 10 years.
It's a lot colder. Whoa! I should sit down.
The main life lesson comes from when I was 14. A few things happened that led to me making very rash decisions. When I was 14, a close family member of mine developed psychosis. He went missing for nearly a year, and even after he returned, the psychosis had taken the man he was, leaving only a shell of who he was. The memories we had cultivated over the years vanished, along with the dreams of who he could have been and wanted to be. It was also around this time I became somewhat estranged from my father. Disillusioned with feelings of unworthiness and feelings that I was innately bad and deserving of a life of suffering, a life where men were villains who left me or hurt me, I decided I didn't want to carry on anymore. So I really didn't expect to make it here.
That was amazing. You should do it. That is, you feel life. Actual life. You can do it, Jack. Oh my God. Wow.
All these experiences, all this life, all this love wouldn't be here. I'm so grateful to just be here right now. I'm grateful that I was able to withstand the pain, because with time, the time which heals all, I survived.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
As this year has been about gratitude for us, I thought I would make a video saying 25 things I'm grateful for about you. 1, thank you for your admirable patience that you've always shown towards me. 2, thank you for your gentle kindness and good intentions towards myself and others.
I am so proud, by the way, of you and Jack and everything that you've made 2020 appear amazing.
You see, for a long time, all I could see was the loss of a life defeated by mental illness no one knew how to repair. Although I didn't know it at the time, these experiences have gone on to shape the woman I am today, for the better. With time, I learned to recognize how happiness manifests in all shapes and forms. I learned to recognize that being whole and in alignment is not about reaching society's standards. I learned to appreciate the moments of lucidity and to celebrate the moments of love and care shown with simple but transient smiles. I saw the self-determination in little things like the decision to take a shower. I learned to be strong and to recognize all the ways a life well lived can manifest. I learned to be an advocate. I researched, I studied, and looked for ways to help. Overall, I learned to recognize not a life lost, but to be grateful for a life found, a life saved, and a life returned to me. And with time, the truth of who I was also revealed to me. I learned that I am worthy of love, worthy of happiness, and worthy of so much more. I learned that men were not all villains, and that I was special and had something to offer the world, just like I believe everyone has something to offer the world. The main thing I learned from everything that happened at 14 is that life is forever changing, and I have learned not to make hard and fast decisions based on the current situation. I've learnt that things will always get better.
Happy birthday, Naomi.
Happy birthday, Naomi.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Naomi. Happy birthday.
So this isn't a sad video. This is a celebration of life and a celebration of bravery, because sometimes to get out of bed is to be brave. And for the first bit of the last 10 years, getting out of bed was all I could do. And now I'm brave enough to follow my dreams over and over and over again.
25, baby girl. Welcome to the good side of the 20s. I'm sorry I can't be there to celebrate with you, but I hope you have a fabulous day nonetheless.
When I was 15, I began to believe that I could achieve anything I wanted, in spite of what others believed. You see, around this time, I decided to apply to be in the UK Youth Parliament and represent the young people of Lambeth. I remember telling a boy I was absolutely smitten with at the time. Until this day, I remember him laughing at me. I remember how he told me there was this girl in his school who was super popular and she was bound to win. I remember feeling hurt. I was too scared to respond. But for some reason, I wasn't fazed, but secretly I was more determined. I of course went on to win, and this has followed me since. I have been called naive numerous times. I've been called a daydreamer. I am never deterred. Because when you shoot for the moon, even if you don't reach it, you are bound to land in the stars. This one win was the catalyst that taught me that no one can get in the way of my dreams unless I let them. It taught me that some people may not want you to win. They may not see your vision, but if you can see your vision, you can achieve anything. At 15, I learned I hated being told what I couldn't achieve. And so I went out and did it. And proved everyone wrong. People have always told me that you are like the 5 people you hang around most with. Now, when I was 16, I was like, Lord, this ain't looking good. At first, I thought it was all about cutting toxic people out of my life. Don't get me wrong, my mother had always begged me to do this. Told me not to be friends with this person, be friends with that person. And I'm sorry, mother, but what I found is when you are toxic yourself, firstly, you can't recognize that people around you are toxic. And secondly, even when you do recognize it, it's hard to cut people out of your life. I've learnt the way of how to change your external circumstances and how to cut toxic people out of your life. When I was applying to college, I applied to colleges outside of my local area so that I could have a change of environment and really focus on my studies. Now, as I've got older and my situations have changed over and over and over again, people have disappeared, reappeared into my life at various points. And I realise now that the adage is true. You attract people who are on the same frequency and same energy level as you are. So I realised that when I changed my situation, when I changed my frequency, the people who were no longer on that vibe disappeared. And I see the same happening to me. When I drop below frequency, sometimes I can't be in contact with people who are high fly and high energy. So when I was 16, I realised that if you change your focus, if you change your attention, even if you want to hold on to the past, your whole world will revolve around you to change to who you're becoming. And sometimes that can be sad. And I don't want to lose my friendships. I never want to lose friendships. I have a desperate need to connect with people. But that choice is taken away from you when you decide to go a different path. And people will either come on the path with you or they will disappear. So when I was 17, I got closer to my mother and I realised she's right most of the time. So mother, I know you tried so hard to get me to be on the straight and narrow path. I just had to do my own thing. But let me tell you now, at 25, I know
you are right. And I hope that gives you some solace, because mother, you are the reason I am the woman I am. My mother was the woman who inspired my desire to solve solutions for people and to find ways to be of service to other people. She's also the person that brought me to God. She honestly nurtured me to be who I am. She always tells me that she prayed for me in her womb so that I could have all the blessings that I have, and I have no doubt that that definitely helped me. I'm actually recording right now. Why would you want this in your life? Mum, we are not taking pigeons home with us. Please. Oh. Mum, why? When I was 18, I didn't get in to study medicine, and this was devastating. I remember people feeling sorry for me, people questioning me. I remember the disappointment on my parents' face, not understanding that I was going to take a gap year. And with social media, it just elevated all my emotions. I was seeing my friends get ready to go into dorms, buying clothes, moving in, and I was getting ready to go to work. It was such... I don't know how to explain it. I was just so sad because realistically my grades were suboptimal. Despite my best efforts, I just didn't get the grades. Now, although I didn't go into university at that time, I got into the University of YouTube. I must have been watching Prince EA or something, and I just got hooked on motivational content. And it was here that I learned about the problems with social media. I learned about how comparison is the thief of joy. I learned that everyone's journey is different, and the fact that I had some knockbacks straight away, the fact that I would be going in to university a year later than all my friends, I was always going to be different. So because I was always going to be different, it stopped scaring me. I was always going to be slightly odd, and so that allowed me and gave me the freedom to continue making odd decisions, to continue walking and living to my own beat and to my own drum. And that's what I did. I decided I was going to experience everything at least once, and the one thing I wanted to do was travel, and boy did I travel. When I was 18, I saved up all my money and I decided that I would travel, and since then I have not looked back. My first trip was to Spain, and then to Italy, Malta, Zambia, Turkey, Greece. I have been to over 25 countries in 25 years. And I say in 25 years, but it was between 18 and 25. So 25 countries in, let me do the maths, 7 years. I love traveling. I love experiencing new things. I always decided that I would not make my mind up on anything until I had experienced it. I was going to be open and experience everything and then make an informed decision. And it was the best thing I ever did. This is me before I hit 25. Before 25, I am going to become a different person in about 5 minutes.
So where are we going today, now?
Finland! Just not Finland. Santa's village.
On our way to Finland.
Finland. 25 before 25. Can I get a woo?
So what just happened now?
We got denied at a border crossing. They said, no, go back to where you came from. You're not allowed here. I think we've been living in a bit of a Swedish bubble. Restrictions are a real thing. You can't just go willy-nilly into Finland.
Yeah, we checked that Santa's Village was open. We just didn't check.
Open to all tourists, but they just meant Finnish tourists, not Swedish tourists.
There you go.
So I did cross.
We went over and then promptly got kicked out.
When I finally got into medicine, woo! So this is just a bit of an update, and just in case you're interested, which you're probably not, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I've just enrolled. Eek! That was pretty. And I was honestly a wreck. As I said, my grades were suboptimal. So when I got my exam results, I didn't have any offers for any universities. I was hoping on 3 A's minimum so that I could reapply to university. I opened my results up and I got 2 A's and 2 B's. And everyone was like, congratulations, well done! You know, parents were excited, friends were excited. I was absolutely crushed. Like, I was just like, my whole life is over. And there was this sense of imposter syndrome. I felt like I shouldn't be here. My grades are suboptimal. I was feeling like, oh, I only got in because of my socioeconomic background. I'm not meant to be here. I'm not going to do well. I then spoke to a mentor who encouraged me and told me that, no, you do deserve to be here. It's just that you faced doing your A-levels against people who had nothing else to worry about except their A-levels. You were doing your A-levels whilst working, whilst looking after your family members, whilst being an advocate, whilst doing all those things. You were still able to get grades which were amazing. You deserve this place. And when we did our first exam, and this exam was against people who had gone to private school, people who hadn't gone to private school, and I got 72%. I was buzzing. All my friends were so excited. We were too excited, in fact. Student loan had just dropped, and we were like, let's go to Dubai. And we were like, okay, flights are in 2 days. So we had our Nando's, we booked our flights, and 2 days later, we were in Dubai celebrating the fact that the first exams we ever did in med school were passed and done with. I was so excited. I was so amazed. And yeah, as I've gone on, I've just made these crazy, last minute, random decisions because that's when you have the most fun. I know there's going to be a day when I have more responsibilities, when I have a family, when I can't do that. And so I made sure to savor and enjoy the moments of singlehoodness, of adolescence, and just have fun. So my university experience was amazing. In spite of living at home, I was out. I lived. I was partying. I was a mess. But then things just start to slow down when you meet the person of your dreams and you stop being so excited about going out and you start being more excited about building a future and building a life with them. When I was 19, I was still broken about men and I unexpectedly met Jack. Now, it wasn't a rosy start because, well, I just wasn't whole in myself. I just didn't believe that men were capable of being good. But meeting Jack was the best thing that ever happened to me. Jack helped me to dispel my false ideas about who men were and what they were capable of. He was patient, he was my friend, he was kind, he was so loving. I know everyone says that you need to find yourself and you need to love yourself before you can find someone. But for me, that wasn't the case. I genuinely don't know if I could have got to that place without someone showing me what love can be, because I just didn't know. And so I found myself through someone showing me how to love myself. He showed me he loved me, and that helped me figure out ways to love myself. So my life is, you know, it's a bit dramatic, but because when you become whole, you realize that you are good by yourself. But my life is Jack. And I commend that because I say that knowing that he has given me the love and independence and courage to know that I can live life independently as a woman. And having him is a privilege. Is a privilege I am so glad to have. Yeah, so I met him and it was a whirlwind. We did long distance, short distance. It was just a whirlwind romance, and I am so glad that I allowed myself to be loved by him and didn't think about the colour of his skin. I know there's all these things about black love and staying with your own, and that worried me a bit. It really did. And what I've come to realise is black love for me is loving the black person that I am and choosing the best for me as a black person. And I give anyone who's worried about this, I give you freedom, okay? Because loving you means choosing the best person for you in spite of their skin colour, where they're from, what country, what class. It's about finding someone who makes you happy. So if you need someone to tell you that it's okay to date that really nice guy who's from a different race, from a different culture, from a different tribe, I'm giving you the grace that black love means loving your black body. Because when you find someone who's going to love you for the rest of your life and is going to make you happy and whole, it means you are filled up, and that means you can help other people. For me, this is a love story that I'm so glad I didn't get to miss out on, and I would hate anyone to miss out on their epic love story because they're worried about what other people think. When I was about 21, I decided that I would not buy any clothes anymore. I was really into motivational messages. I was really encouraged by the environmental movement. These things had always been lingering about in my head, especially because I studied politics at A-levels. And I learned about materialism and this push for people to consume and have more and be more and just do more and buy more. And I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm not going to buy things just to impress people I don't like. So I was able to not buy any clothes. But as I've got older, I've realised that this push, this material push, is not just in fancy cars and designer shoes. It's notorious everywhere. People are pushing even a simple life on you. Oh, your life is not good enough. It needs to be simple. Oh, your food is not good enough. You need to eat this. You need to eat that. Oh, your house, it needs to be more remote. Oh, it's too close to the city. Oh, do this. And honestly, all of that, it doesn't matter where you are, that puts you in a state of depression and anxiety, because what happens is you are focusing on things that you don't have. You're focusing on things that aren't working in your life. Just because I was able to cut the noise out with clothes, I have learned to cut the noise out with everything. And the way I've been able to do that is again, not using social media as much. I honestly hope people come to this channel and realize the one core thing that I have learned is gratitude. Being grateful for where you are, because as rubbish as your situation is, if you can find one thing to be grateful for, your life will magically change. You will feel a little bit better. I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but you will feel a little bit better. And I'm not saying that your environment doesn't need to change, but for me, what happened is I realized that people are always telling me what I need to have and want and be and do this, and I just don't care. I don't want to hear it. I'm happy here. And I, of course, wouldn't be here without my father. Something my father has taught me, except education, is how to be still and how to stand in your truth, how to take responsibility for mistakes, but also not to let it consume you. I read once that being an adult is about living with regrets, but not allowing the regrets to consume you. And my father is someone who taught me that. I had this amazing relationship with him where I could talk to him about anything. Honestly, anything. I felt calm to talk to him about anxiety. He is the most rational man I know, and he has helped me just be still and to understand that in the end, everything works out. He's also taught me the power of education and inspired me and motivated me to always work hard. So thank you, Dad. And thank you, Mum, for inspiring me to think outside the box, to be the complete opposite, erratic, move fast, quickly, solution-driven, less rational. It's because of you both that I am where I am, so thank you so much. There are a few things I have negated to talk about in too much detail, such as getting engaged and getting married, because that could be a whole video in itself, and building this life with Jack is my life. It is my world, and I am so happy to be sharing this journey with you guys. But I guess briefly, the one significant thing, other than being married to the love of my life and my best friend, that came out of my wedding was starting our business, which was brought out of frustration of not being able to find a hair stylist and makeup artist for my wedding. And I know that may sound trivial, but as a black woman, not knowing where you can have someone to maintain your curls is nuts. And I know for a lot of people it has stopped them from where they want to apply to university, from taking years out to places like Sweden, because they're like, who's going to do my hair there? And I am so excited that with our business we will be hopefully able to help as many women as possible just have the freedom to travel and to move and to just be free, knowing that they could always just go on their phone and use our services to find a hair and beauty service provider. My business has allowed me to come here. If it wasn't for my business and taking a risk on starting it, I wouldn't be in Sweden. Everyone always says I'm so inspired by your bravery, and I hope what you have learned from this is it wasn't one big move, but it's about being brave throughout the last 10 years. From being brave to just wake up, to being brave to run for UK Youth Parliament, to being brave to come into Sweden, to being brave in putting out a YouTube video and just talking about your life, not knowing if people are interested. There have been many small steps I have taken which have led to this one big moment of bravery, and I encourage everyone to just be brave, to follow their dreams, start with simple things, and eventually it will spiral and you might be making big moves. Overall, I am so excited and so grateful to be able to connect with so many people. As I have said, I am desperate to connect with people and to talk to people.
We got to know this very special girl in northern Swedish Lapland.
While waiting for burgers in line, and she is naturally awesome.
Yes, optimistic.
And magnificent.
And altogether irresistible Naomi.
Big shout out to you, Naomi. I love you, I appreciate you. It's just a shame that we can't celebrate.
Because what you may not know, like, this was a hobby to begin with, but if it wasn't for you guys watching our videos, we wouldn't be able to survive in Sweden. Like, you have helped us fund this journey. You have allowed us and helped us to continue working on our business until it becomes viable. You have given us a livelihood, you know, like, your like has helped us eat. So I am so grateful for everyone who watches our video, likes, comments, and I am so excited to take you through the next 25 years of my life, which is all about taking risks.
My darling, beautiful wife, Naomi, you are so loved. Such a wonderful, magnificent person, loved by so many people, and most of all me. What an amazing year you've had, what an amazing 25 years you've had. Who would have thought you'd be spending your 25th birthday here? I think all of the love and support from all of your friends and family really say more than I could, but I just wanted you to know that I love you more now than I ever have, and you continue to amaze me and surprise me. Happy 25th birthday. I love you very much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nene. Happy birthday to you.
What do you have to say to everyone who filmed something for you?
Thank you so much. You don't understand how much it's made my day. I'm just so touched and I'm so grateful, and I wish I could spend it with all of you guys, but I'm just so grateful. Thank you for making my 25th birthday really special. I wish I was 24 though, but you've made 25 really special, so thank you.